come up. It's going to say wait, but it's going to say 0 pounds. It's going to say automatic start. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take either the up or the down arrow. You're going to scroll through. Tech alert demo. Don't worry about it. You don't have a tech alert. It doesn't apply to your machine. High voltage oil flush. Doesn't apply to your machine. Don't worry about it. Print results. You don't have printers. Don't worry about it. Setup. We're going to get to that, but don't worry about that yet. The fifth function on the arrow, up or down, is going to say fill cylinder. We have we have a red and a green button. The green button, yes, start. Press start, connect hose to source tank and open valve. So, I don't know what Mike did, but in the bag there's a little adapter. Okay, so that little adapter, you all have Freon in your shops, or you're gonna get 30 pounders? Okay, so there's a little adapter in there. You're just gonna screw it onto your hand, tighten it, don't over tighten it, you don't want to break the valve. You put it on your 30-pound tank. You take your tank and you turn it upside down. You take your low side, your blue hose. Connect it to your 30-pound tank. It's going to say, oh, connect hose, open valve. You're going to open the valve, you're going to connect it, you're going to press start. Now, every single time you use the machine, it's going to say clearing in process, please wait. So what that's doing, again, Freon's valuable. There's Freon in the hoses. So it's clearing the hoses now. It's the first thing it's going to do. It's going to clear your hose, and then it's going to pull your Freon and fill your tank. Now the tank inside, there's an internal tank inside here. It holds about 17.5 pounds of Freon. I know it's a 30-pound tank. I mean, in theory, it's 30 pounds, but it only holds 17 pounds. Why is that? Because you don't want to overfill. You know, when you're evacuating systems, you don't want to overfill your systems. So it has this one. You know, it's going to have it's 5 minutes to clear all that. So we're just going to stop it. But you have to understand, it's going to say that. So one thing you're going to understand: the initial fill of the machine takes a long time. Like, don't think the machine isn't working. Like Mike even said, it took him, you know,
like 2 hours.
Yeah, it takes a long time to fill the internal cylinder on the first time you're using it. Don't worry about it. The machine is working. The way you're going to be able to tell that is the bottom right-hand corner of the keypad here. It's a little units of measure. So they're all preset on pounds. You want to make yourself feel good. Press it a couple of times. Put it to ounces, so you know that you'll watch it fill up. And again, this is pretty full now. He put 16 pounds in there, so it's all, you know. Right now he's complete. We've cleared the hoses. Again, it's going to take a little bit of time. Don't worry about it. Again, it's next time you do it, it's a lot quicker. The initial fill always takes a really long time.
That's all, John. What's the max they can fill it to?
17.5 pounds, give or take. The machine won't let you fill it any more than that.
Okay.
It'll tell you. Again, I don't want to say the machines are idiot-proof, because I've been in a lot of shops and guys do some real crazy stuff, but it really doesn't let you make a lot of mistakes. All right? So we go back now. Weight, there's 16.6 pounds of Freon in this machine right now, and it says automatic. So if we scroll through the functionality, like I said, tech alert, don't worry, high voltage, don't worry, print, don't worry, setup. So we're going to go to setup, yes. Okay, selectable options. It's always going to give you a little question mark when you know you got to answer yes or no. So selectable options, yes. Select language. I'm assuming most of you guys are going to want your machines to talk to you in English. I made a mistake a couple of weeks ago. I was in a place in Passaic, New Jersey, all Spanish guys, and they said, yeah, put it on Spanish. So I set it to Spanish, and I'm no tech, and it's talking to me in Spanish, and I don't know, I need a translator to tell me how the machine's working. So again, you can English, French, or Spanish. Most of us are going to put it in Spanish. We just say yes to continue. Buzzer enabled. Now I'm going to show you what the buzzer sounds like. You guys can leave your buzzer on if you want. It's pretty darn loud. It's up to you guys. It's, you know, in this environment, you may want to do that, which is fine. For now, because we don't want to go crazy, we're going to turn that off. Refrigerant ID ID installed. Don't worry about that. Enter password. You guys are, you're all going to be using the machines. You don't need a special password for your machine. Password. Again, everything AC cap installed. Printer installed is no. This is all preset on the machine. Print the flash drive. Back to selectable options where we want the beginning to continue. Back to the very beginning. Again, everything's going to scroll back to the very beginning, right? Spanish, English, French. We want English. Yes. Buzzer enabled. No. Yes. Operator ID. Again, all these are all things that you're going to want to AC test mode. No. Vacuum pump oil enabled. Yes. Refrigerant liquid. Okay. So all these things are not necessary for you guys. Now it says here fill cylinder type. It's always preset on low side. You always want to fill your cylinders, like I said, on the low side. Back to selectable options. Okay. So now we've set up our machine. We have it on English. Again, this is all preset at the machine, but you want to put it on English. You want to leave that buzzer on or off, depending on what you have. And then you're going to get back to the opening screen. It says weight, 16.6 pounds, PAG. So everybody knows what PAG oil is and ester oil is? No. Okay, maybe not. So PAG oil, it's just the way the refrigerant travels through your system. So PAG oil on regular systems is what's going to travel the Freon through your system. So it's 99% of what you're going to see is going to be PAG oil. When you get a hybrid vehicle, you're going to have to change it to ester because it's just a different type of, it's just a different system. Really, again, I don't know, how much hybrids do you guys see in your shops? Do you see a lot? You do. Okay, so you just got to know, you're going to use PAG oil instead of ester. You're going to have to change it to PAG. I mean, from PAG to ester. Again, don't worry about it. Another thing is on the back of the machines, there's a little tank, there's a little receptacle back there, and that's for oil. Now, for your environment, it's going to ask you to set it, just a little O-ring to see how much oil comes out of the system. Certain cars will give you a little bit of oil when you drain the systems. You guys are not adding oil to your systems. You're not doing that. Excuse me, you're not doing service. You're not changing compressors. You're not doing all that service. So although you can see how much oil comes out and how much oil you want to put back into the system, you really, for your purposes, it's really not necessary because you're not going to be performing that service. But you should know when it asks you about oil, you just set the O-ring. If there's any oil in there, you put it to where it is so you can see how much oil comes out. But again, not necessary for your environment.
The other machine that I had, you have to take the oil, the canister thing out and pour the oil back into the machine. Does that do the same thing with this one?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, to put the oil back into the machine, back into their system.
Into our machine.
No. You don't know about that.
It says to do it now. Yeah, our system says to do it.
To add it back into the machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it. You're not doing that.
Okay.
All right, so if you see here, it says automatic. Mm-hmm. Most of the service that you guys are going to do is automatic, right? I mean, you're not going to, you can do everything, all the functionality. So you see these four buttons up here. So it says automatic, which is what we're set on. Recycle, vacuum, and charge. Now, for certain environments, you're going to want to do, a guy may want to charge it separately, vacuum his system out separately, or recycle it separately. You guys aren't going to do that. You guys are going to attach it to the vehicle, and you're going to run. And you want to walk away. You want to attach your high side. You want to attach your low side, and you want to walk away. So again, we have this as manual functionality. For your environment, you don't have to ever worry about it.
Just automatic.
Just put it on automatic. Press start. All right. Check oil drain level. That's what I'm talking about. So you want to adjust the O-ring to where it is. If you have zero oil in there, you put it to zero, just so you know how much oil is coming in and out of the system. It's going to always ask you, like I said, continue, little question mark. Yes. Enter vacuum time. So, the machines are all preset on 30 minutes of vacuum time.
It's a long time.
It is.
You said it's a long time?
It's a long time, yeah.
It's a proper one, though. Put it right.
We suggest you
I
never
know.
walk away from a system with vacuuming at less than 30 minutes. That's pulling a pretty good vacuum. But you're, again, the ideal thing, because you're going to be performing a service on that vehicle, you want to make sure there's no Freon in there, there's no moisture in there. So 30 minutes is our suggested time. Now again, I'm not telling you, I'm telling you the right way to do it. I also understand your environment. You're trying to whack them out and get the cars through. The machine will always default to 30 minutes, but you can change that. If you're just pulling out, vacuuming and putting back in, you can make it as long or as short as you want. Just letting you know that you have that option. You know, just by using the keys, you can make it less or more time. If you're working on your own vehicles, I would say never do less than 30 minutes. It's not going to hurt a system to make it less time. And if you're in a hurry and you want to push it through, it will work on less time. You have to vacuum the system, but you can do it for a couple of minutes. All right, so 30 minutes, yes. Perform leak test. Now, someone asked me earlier when we were talking, does it do a leak test?
Sorry, wouldn't that be the vacuum part or no?
No, because it's got to pull a vacuum first, and then you have to perform. Then it's going to it's going to turn off. The machine's going to when it's
and
pulling.
Then try to see if it holds the vacuum.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can see it by the gauges. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. So it's going to see if it holds a vacuum. Yeah. Pretty basic. And I guess you're going to want to perform a leak test, because you don't want to just throw Freon into that car. And then the guy can have a gaping hole in it that you're not throwing dye in it. You're not really checking with lights, but you want to perform a leak test. So again, functionality, left and right, yes or no?
I was going to have a leak test.
No, I don't. I think it all has one. That's
I'm
why.
sorry?
No, nothing. Talking about the other machine again.
Okay, enter charge amount. So we all know, you look in the manual, you look on the side, it's going to tell you how much Freon to put into the system. So it's, most vehicles 2.5 pounds, whatever it is. So you enter in again using the buttons, and so we just 0.6 pounds. We want to change that amount. 6.9, whatever it is. You can see, whatever it is. You're just using the keypad. You're changing how much Freon you're going to want, that the system calls for. All understand that? No problem. Yeah. Okay, so we're putting
How do
in.
you change the units? You said you hit that unit number.
UM is units of measure.
And you
yes.
can change it from pounds to
Yeah,
what?
good question. So you can change it from pounds to ounces to kilograms, depending on which system you have. And thank you for that. Yeah, depending on what kind of vehicle you're working on, it could be, the measurement could be in different units of measure. All right, so we just again defaulted. Continue again. Question mark. Yes. Current type of oil again. Ester oil POE. PAG oil PAG.
And what was the difference between those two again?
PAG oil is for regular systems. Ester oil is for hybrid systems.
Okay.
POE.
So what if accidentally, from your knowledge, if we accidentally hit PAG for a hybrid car?
It won't work.
It won't work, right?
Yeah, the machine's going to recognize it, but you don't want to make those mistakes.
The machine's going to recognize it.
Yeah,
Why you weren't kidding
Hybrid is POE.
All right. So, and again, left and right arrows just change to PAG or ester oil. Continue, again, question mark, yes. Select a charge, high, low, both.
You recommend both, right?
No reason not to, so both. Continue.
A lot of people ask me too, should the car be off or on at this time? Off. I know the answer.
Okay.
I saved people off, but I wasn't really 100% sure.
Like this, why?
Then it's going to say connect hoses, and open valves. Basic, connect to the low side, connect to the high side.
This is when you connect to the vehicle.
This is, connect to the vehicle. High and low side. You connect, start. Yes. Clearing in process. It's going to clear with the lines. And off we go.
So it's all starting to go in the car off?
Yeah. Yep. Now, to that point too, if the car is on, you'd probably want to run it through the low side, but that's it only if you're adding Freon to the low side and the car's on.
So the whole service, the car's off.
Yeah.
Until you add it.
Yeah.
That's not how it should.
That's it. Everything it does it by itself.
We just now it's walk away. You've already preset how much Freon. You've preset how much Freon's going into that system. It's preset that you're going to be how long you're going to pull a vacuum. It's done. That's all you got to do. at this point you've done everything you can do. It's going to go. It's going to recycle it. Recycling process amount received. It's obviously going to tell you nothing. It's going to recycle for 5 minutes. That's the default. It's going to clean. It's now pulled it's pulled the vacuum out of the system. It's recycling for 5 minutes. I'm going to stop it, and again, every time you stop the machine, it says clearing in process. So after you've done the whole process, you're going to disconnect the high side of the system. You're going to start your vehicle and you're going to put it on. You're going to run your air conditioning on max, right? You're going to make sure. And I know what you guys are going to want to do. You're going to want to test. Hey, you came in here. It was blowing this. You're going out, and someone told me that. I don't know if I spoke to you yesterday. It might have been the regional guy from the other area that he wants. That's one of the things you guys are going to do. I don't know if everybody's going to do that. You just basically want to tell, hey, it's working. Your machine now is blowing cold. It came in, it was blowing 52. Now it's blowing 37. You know, so you can tell tell your customer that the machine is working. All right, so that's basically everything. That's basically everything. A couple of things you need to know. On the side of the machine, there's a panel, 2 screws. Inside there's a filter. Real easy, screw on, screw off filter. At 150 pounds of recycled Freon, the machine's going to stop working. It's going to give you notice that you're getting there, but it's going to stop working at 150 pounds. You got to take off that old filter. You got to put on a new filter. It's going to, when you put on that new filter, again, you're going to go to functionality. You're going to go to setup, like we talked about before. It's going to say enter a serial number. The machine will not work unless you enter a Mahle filter serial number into the machine. Again, this is not all rules.
No way around it.
No way around it. This is an arm. This is the government.
Yeah.
So you can't play games. You can't pull it off, put it back on, enter that same serial number. The machine knows. You got to put on a new filter. Now, 150 pounds of recycled refrigerant. I mean, I know some of you guys have busy shops. That should take you a while, even in the heart of the season. Because think about a system. It's 2.5 pounds. A lot of the systems you're going to be working on are going to already probably have a leak or something in it. So you're going to be pulling, what, a pound out? So it's a lot of vehicles. But in the heart of the season, you may have to change once or twice.
Now that filter is just filtering out the ester and the PAG oil, right?
Moisture. Is really
Moisture?
what it is. It's cleaning, and that's really the only problems that you get in an air conditioning system is moisture. You want water is the enemy of any internal system. It's a vacuum. An air conditioning system is a vacuum. You want to keep it as dry as possible. That's why you vacuum it out. You're getting at that Freon, but you're getting at that moisture. The longer you pull that vacuum, the more moisture you're going to pull out. And that is, they're not going to be efficient unless they're completely moisture free.
So most of the Freon that you pull out of a car is going to, a lot of it's just going to be water and moisture inside of it,
It's
right?
going to be a lot. I mean, you're
It's
talking
a good
about
percent, but that's what's making the AC not work as well anyway.
chances are that's what your problem
Cool.
is.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So again, so you're changing this. Now over on here. In here, there's tiny little filters as well. When you change the filters, you don't have to change these every time, but when you buy your filter kit, it's going to come with those little, they look like little cones, and you just change it. Just filters this side as well. All right? So it just, you want to make sure.
With the screws right here?
Yeah. Inside that panel.
Let me just take a peek.
Yeah, there's like 3 screws right there.
Yeah, just, again, just a
These
couple of
things right
screws.
here?
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So, we know now, just to review real quick, first thing you're going to do, you're going to register your unit because you want to make sure you're going to be able to, if you ever have a problem, that you're going to use that warranty. So the first thing, you can register it online. There's the 800 number on the bottom for technical support if you have any problem registering your unit, but it's the same people that are going to be your tech line. And especially in the heart of the season, they have lots of people there to answer any questions you want. So register your vehicle. Don't lose your calibration ball, but your machine is calibrated. You don't have to worry about it. You always want to charge on the low side. You want to turn over that 30-pound Freon when you're charging it up. You have to realize, again, the first time you're going to fill that cylinder, it's going to take a long time. Don't get frustrated. Just understand it's a bit of a process. And for your purposes, everything is done on the automatic side. That's it, right there. Any questions that you guys can think of right now?
Does this machine have? You might have went over it. Does it have like the thermometer?
No. Yeah, we don't. That's. I guess I was asked that question just yesterday. No, you got. I mean, they sell. I mean, I don't know who you guys buy your stuff from or where you get your stuff from, but everybody sells thermometers. You know, they have handheld ones that are, you know, you don't even, or the ones that you just actually just stick into the vent.